Well, hello, writers. Welcome to episode number 341 of How Do You Write? I'm Rachael Herron. I am thrilled you are here as I am talking today to my friend A.M. Mason. And oh my goodness, she is so delightful. We have such a fun talk. And also, y'all, she's just getting stuff done. She is kicking ass, taking names. Is that how we say it? I don't know. Taking names, kicking ass. Doesn't matter. She's doing it. She's doing it and she's doing it well. And you are going to love this conversation about productivity and outlines and supportive partners. And please stick around for it. It's a treat. All right. What has been going on around here? Oh my gosh, y'all. Moving. Still haven't packed very much. Tomorrow, as I record this, we will go get the keys to the house. So that's tomorrow. And in 8 days, we will move. And I think I have just come to the conclusion that I don't want to pack. I don't want to pack until the last minute because that's when you pack anyway. So we've got one full weekend. We've got this full weekend to pack. And then I've got evenings next week to pack. And Lala can pack all the time because she's not working right now. And we'll just get it done. I saw a TikTok video where the caption said something like the chaos of the last 24 hours of packing. And it showed the top of a box that was labeled dirty clothes and air fryer. And that's where we're headed. That's where we're headed. But that's fine. That's fine. I have been giving myself some grace and some kindness. And when I am tired, I rest. And yeah, it's going to be hectic. And that is okay. I will know more about how hectic I feel next week when I record this intro, as we will be moving the next day. But tomorrow we just get the keys. Earlier this week on Tuesday, we got to do the pre-settlement inspection, which was the first time we got back in the house. I think it was David Sedaris famously said something like, buying a house is like meeting a total stranger for 10 minutes and then not seeing them or talking to them or being able to remember what they look like until the wedding day. And that is how we felt. And we've been staring at the photos from the realty listing, and we went in the houses at once, both bigger and smaller than we remembered it. Like some of the rooms are way smaller. Some of the rooms are way bigger. I don't understand, but it still felt really, really great. And it's going to be home. And the old owners left us a little note that said, welcome home. And they said that our new neighbors are fantastic. So that's great because that's always a crapshoot, right? And we are looking forward to moving. There has been just a lot of anxiety, I think, because this is real. This is big. We came to New Zealand with a little nest egg from selling our house in California, which was small because we didn't make that much on it because we bought at the height of the market and right before the crash in 2008. So we had a little equity that we had made back, and that allowed us to put a down payment on a home here. But that means we don't have a nest egg anymore, right? And it's nerve wracking financially, and also this is interesting. We keep hearing from friends and relatives in the States, like their surprise. They say things like, oh my God, you're really not coming back. And we knew that, but did we? Like, that's the question I'm asking myself. Both Lala and I are feeling anxiety around the fact that this is, yeah, we really are. We really are staying. And it's, I don't know, kind of reigniting some of the anxiety that I felt. Anyway, I can only speak for myself when we left the States. I keep having that thought that I had for months after we got here, which is, what have we done? What we left the country and we moved to a place where we knew no one. And what have we done? What are we doing? And so I keep waking up at 3 a.m. with those kind of thoughts. And that is normal under these kinds of, stressful situations like moving. And I also know that they will go away. And I know that we can sit with uncomfortable feelings. We can sit with discomfort because I have learned to do that through meditation. And I have learned to do that through writing. I have learned just to go to the desk and do some writing, and it doesn't feel good. And that's okay. It doesn't have to. It just needs to get done. I just need to produce so that then I can craft those words that I produced into something that pleases me. But a lot of times writing feels great and is fun and is easy. And other times it's difficult and I'm not doing it wrong. Ooh, I think I'm preaching to myself right now. I'm not doing it wrong, even though it doesn't feel good. That is what is happening with this move, with this purchase. Even though it is producing anxiety, we're not doing it wrong. Also, it's just a flipping house. We can sell it. God forbid. But I love to kind of think of those things. I like to think about exit plans when I'm making an entrance because I'm a planner. I'm futuristic. So I have not been writing anything at all. My main focus of work right now is to finish editing this class on traditional versus self-publishing and how to choose which direction to go, which will be coming to a teachable platform near you very soon. So if you are not on my email newsletter list, please listen to the little interstitial read on this podcast and do join because there will be a significant savings on purchasing it in the first week that it is out. So you will want to know about that. So please jump onto my writer's email list. Please do that. I would love to have you on it. And I try to be very helpful with that email newsletter list, even though I do not send it every week, like I say in that ad read, because I don't get around to it. But that's my biggest focus is doing the editing, which always takes so much longer. I think I'm editing number 18 out of the 22 modules. 22 modules, y'all. It's big. And so I'm very close, very, very close. And I have been doing that, but I haven't been doing much of that besides editing that and teaching. That has been all my time at the desk. And that's great. That's all I need to do. I need to just keep coming back to the desk and doing my work. And I am doing that. Whew. Yeah. Oh, I am looking forward to being in a house and being able to unpack. I really am. I'm such a cat. All right. Well, I want to thank 2 new patrons. Thank you. If anybody wants to support my Patreon, that's over at patreon.com/Rachael. And I provide stuff for writers as well as an essay a month about creativity and life. And that I love writing those things. So for Claire, new patron, thank you. I wish for you a pocket of found time, that the thing that you were dreading gets canceled and that time is suddenly filled with hot chocolate and sunshine and reading. That happiness, that joy that comes with something being canceled, even if it's something I am looking forward to sometimes, I am so relieved when it is canceled. So thank you, Claire. Welcome. And Cara Finnegan, for you, I wish that your clothes hold your body perfectly and that everything you wear this week, now let's make it this month, makes you feel good and strong and perfectly you, and that everything you wear is exactly as soft and as warm or as cool as you need it to be, and that absolutely everything has pockets to hold all of the treats that you need. Thank you for being my patron. Welcome. All right, y'all, let's jump into this fabulous interview with A.M. I promise you will enjoy her. A.M. Mason is an American writer living in Korea with her husband and cat. Growing up first outside of Chicago and then in Phoenix, she loves to explore new regions and cities, always looking for supernatural lying just beneath the surface and in the shadows. She writes spicy paranormal romance and urban fantasy with dominant alpha men and strong, sassy women. Her new novel, Kiss of a Hellish Prince, is out now. Please enjoy this interview. All right. Well, I am very excited today to welcome you to the show. Hello, my friend. Will you please share your name and pronouns with us?
Yeah, my name is May. I write under A.M. Mason and I go by she, her.
Thank you, May. It is so good to have you here. Can we recap, because I have forgotten, how did we first meet? I literally don't remember.
I think I found Rachael Says Right
Was it
through
through the
a
podcast
blog or
or?
something. It may have been through the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually I think it was because I found the podcast. Then I started joining Rachael Says Right and the Patreon.
And since you have joined Rachel Says Right, you have become a core part of my writers community to the point that you're never going to pay for Rachel Says Right again because I abuse you endlessly. When I am not around, when I wake up with a migraine or when I'm traveling, I either hit up Ed, but Ed, my assistant, has been traveling a lot, or I just hit up May, and May's always there. And you say yes to me like a very nice person.
Well, part of it's because when you hit me up right before it starts, I'm not awake yet. So the coffee has not kicked in. So I'll agree to pretty much
You have
anything.
no defenses.
Yeah, none. But I'm gonna be in Rachel Says Right anyway, because that's probably the 2 hours I get the most done. So if I'm there anyway, why not?
To be
And
yeah.
yeah,
To be
like
fair,
I
it's
just
the time I get the most done too. Like I write
mhm,
every day, but as you do, I'm sure. But those 2 hours on Mondays and Wednesdays, or for us where we live Tuesdays and Thursdays, but that's not very many of us who are there. It's on that day, are the hours that like I feel like because there's other eyeballs on me that I have to write. Do you feel that way?
mhm. I do, especially because normally I don't write in the morning because my husband doesn't
Mm,
go to work until a little after noon, like he just
mhm.
left. Um, so usually the mornings for me are pretty chill, which I like, but just having where I have to focus for those 2 hours, I get so much done.
And so you live in South Korea, and
Mhm.
it must be helpful too that your husband knows that you're doing that. Like, oh, there's May. I guess she's writing, and he's walking around behind you, getting ready to go to work. So you can't even be like screwing around. You're like looking at your
Yeah.
stuff.
So like I can't have Disney Plus on like I had like 10 minutes ago rewatching Once Upon a Time for the 80th time. So I have to focus.
Have I seen that one? Who's in that one?
Oh, it's so good. Jennifer Goodwin, and I can't remember any of the other actors' names. Sebastian Stan is in there for a little bit on the first season as
Oh,
the
it's
Mad
a
Hatter, and he's
series?
amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I've never
It's
seen
a it
it.
was on ABC Family. It's all of the like storybook characters that we know and love. There's an evil curse from the evil queen, of course, and she puts them all in this little town in Maine, and they don't remember who they are.
Oh, I think
So
you told me about this.
yeah, it
Yes.
is so good. I love it. I love it so much.
I'm gonna try to figure out if I can watch it. Because
Disney Plus, if you have it, it's on Disney Plus for the
I
international people.
oh, okay, maybe that's where we have it. I think Lala does have that. I will check into that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the international problems. So, like
Yeah.
with Hulu,
Like
Hulu
Netflix, what
won't.
we get isn't the same. Hulu's a no-go
It's a
and
no-go. They have, even with the best VPN in the world, Hulu is so smart. They will not let you in. And it just breaks my heart because there's some good stuff on Hulu, but I am not
I
above
know.
illegally torrenting something if I just can't get it at
If
all,
I
because I will
cannot get
pay
it
for it.
any other way, if I can't
Exactly.
get it in a legit way where I pay for it, then yeah, I'll do that too.
I will
But
always pay for it. Yeah, you
Disney
Hulu.
Plus, not all the Hulu shows, unfortunately. I still can't watch Handmaid's Tale, but a lot of them are on Disney Plus for the international. Like
Oh.
um even some movies like or the limited series Pam and Tommy, which is not Disney appropriate whatsoever. I watched it on Disney Plus, which just made it so much better for me.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check. Literally, when we get off of this, I'm gonna go look and see what's on our Disney Plus. That's
Yeah, I
amazing.
think it's under like Star or something. Is all the stuff
Okay.
from like Hulu that's just available to us on Disney Plus. It's amazing.
Thank you. Bonus points. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about writing though.
Mhm.
Because your first book came out this year. It was the
Yep.
prequel novella, basically, right?
Yeah.
And then the book is coming out soon. So
Yep.
before we get into talking about what they are, because I want to go into that too, can you please tell me about your writing process? How and when and where? What do you do?
So I write 5,000 words a day, but my book does not
Dang.
start with writing. It doesn't. Like I tried
Your
that my
your book
first
or your
one,
day? Your day.
my book. My
Your
books.
book.
I can't start with writing. I can't.
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
I've done that before, and I know a lot of people rewrite their book like 5, 6 times, go through different drafts. My ADD dyslexic brain says that's not happening, and my next draft will be worse than the one before. So I'm using that as a strength. And I outline.
Yeah.
Like I do a basic
Ah.
outline. I'm like, okay, well, this will happen in the rising action, blah, 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 blah. But then I do an advanced one, which is pretty much me telling myself the story in bullet points, and I break down everything. And then
Tell
since
me
I
more
have my
about the
map,
everything, because I worship the idea of outlining, and when I've done it in the past, it's broken me into tiny little pieces, and we all do things differently. But that advanced outline in bullet points, when you say you break down everything, are you catching like little snippets of dialogue, or is it just action, or what is it?
it's me telling myself the story. So I'm like, okay, well, I know I want to start with this scene. So I'll write, well, this happens, this happens. Sometimes they're like 10 words, other times it's paragraphs because I'm just writing what's in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's dialogue. I write in first person, but the outlines are in third because I'm just telling myself the story.
Oh, that's so fascinating.
Yeah.
And how long are the outlines at their most advanced level before you start writing the book?
My biggest one, which had massive sections of text in it, because for fight scenes, ended up being about 10,000 words.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
Wow.
huge. I do them on Milanote and then I copy them into Scrivener on like each chapter has just copy and paste it in the notes. So
What is
when I
Mila
sit,
Note? I think you told me about
um,
that once too. It's a note-taking app, right?
kind of, it's kind of like OneNote, but more
Yeah.
user friendly.
Yeah, people
So,
really like it.
oh, I love it. I can actually go grab pictures online and have it automatically save. It's how I organize everything.
Mm,
Um, it's like just having like a bulletin board almost with function. So like each of my books has a board, and in those boards there's other boards for characters.
mm.
It's amazing. So much fun.
That is very cool. And right now you're in the middle of doing your next outline, is that right?
I just finished it yesterday for book
Congratulations.
4.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So let me ask you then, because this is a real process related question. How does it feel? Because you get so passionate about doing the outline. How does it feel when you're doing the actual drafting of the book, given that you've already made the decisions?
Fast, because I know exactly what's going to happen. Like most people look at me when I say I have a goal of 5,000 words a day and they
Yeah.
look at me like I'm insane. But if I know what's going to happen, all I'm doing is taking that and polishing it and making it so
Mhm.
other people know what's going to happen and putting it in
Yeah.
that character's point of view. So, like I usually do 20-minute sprints. I can get anywhere from 4 to 700 words in 20 minutes.
That's so cool. What surprises you when you are doing those first drafts?
When everything clicks together with things from other books that I did not mean to link, but it works. And I'm just like, yes, just, yes, and just keep going.
Oh, I'm having that jealousy that comes from knowing my process so well and knowing that your process will probably never be my process, but I want it to be. I want to borrow it. I
See,
could try
I know I've
again.
heard other authors that have these great processes. I'm like, oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds like it really work. And I'm like, my brain would not do that.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
have to find what works for you. And I think I know you can buy other authors' processes with all these classes, and that's great, but that's not going to help you. You need to find what
Exactly.
works for you. You need to make your own process.
And then you make it deeply your own
Yeah.
process. As deep
Mm.
and yeah, oh, and it's always changing. It can change. It can
Oh
morph
yeah.
and grow. But yeah, I love that you know this about yourself and it's working. Okay. So, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to writing?
Staying off of Disney Plus at the moment. Um, I don't know. Sometimes like when it actually comes to writing, try to put in those emotions through without telling, with showing those emotions. Like I have the emotion thesaurus,
Mhm.
and I love that book, but
It's so
half the
great.
time when I'm going through and doing my revisions, I have to go back and like, wait, no, that's too telling, and I have to go back and pull up the thesaurus.
I
It's
use
gotten to the
the
point my editor's like, would you stop saying this because you already showed it? Stop it.
Ooh, that is a
Yeah.
very good criticism. Stop saying you already showed it.
Hmm.
That's fantastic. What of writing do you love the most?
When things click, when motivations just align, when I can see the characters that I feel deeply for that may be an antagonist, and I can justify their motivations in a way that makes them redeemable.
Mm,
Because I love that there's no such thing as a true villain. Everyone's a hero in their own mind.
yes.
Some are
Yeah.
redeemable, some aren't, but finding that line, I love it.
And having a real true villain with no redeeming qualities at all, with no, I think it's lazy. That's all it
It
is.
is.
It's
Mhm.
easy, and I've done it. I've actually written books with that, and I, don't want to admit it, but they've been in there. So yeah, that's amazing. How oh my gosh, my question just flew away because I was so excited about that. It'll come back to me.
Okay.
Can you share a craft tip of any sort with us?
um, Cast your characters. Like when you have an idea of what this character is going to be, maybe what they look like, an aesthetic, something, go on Pinterest, IMDb, Google Images, whatever, find an actor that fits that motif or that aesthetic and cast them. They become 3D in my head. And
Mm.
I kind of abuse that and use the same actors for a lot of different characters and different projects. My crush on Chris Evans is real. But
Do we ever
um
mind seeing, but at the time, like, I want to go to the movie theater and see Chris Evans over and over again. I want to see him in your books over and over again. That's not a
right.
problem for me. Your readers will love that.
Actually, the funny part is right now I haven't cast him in the series I'm working on. Henry Cavill, circa
Oh
Immortals,
yeah.
though, as Tomas, which I think you said you read One Night with a Demon Soldier. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see
yeah, yeah.
Tomas a
And I
little
loved it.
bit. He's a kid there,
Oh.
but yeah, the little baby dragon.
Oh my gosh.
But
Little
yeah, he
little Henry
comes back in the
Cavill.
series, and he's like Henry Cavill, circa Immortals. So a
I'm a Henry
younger, but not young.
Cavill's circa Witcher fan, but I don't want him to talk.
Yeah.
I just want to look at his
I
butt.
don't know. I like that voice. I like that. I don't want him to
It's
talk. I just want that growl. And when he swears, I'm like, yeah, we can just stick with that.
that is true. The swearing is really, really good. I remembered my question for you. First of all, I want to say that craft tip is genius. Yes, yes, yes. But my question for you is, do you struggle with plotting when you are doing your outline? That's when you're really doing your plotting.
Mhm.
Have you done your Clifton Strengths? Where's your ideation, if you know that?
I haven't.
Okay. I have a feeling your ideation is probably pretty high, but do you struggle with plot ever?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, that is
It
my
makes me feel
main
better.
struggle because I can get these ideas for great characters and I'm like in a situation, I'm like, yes. And I'm like, okay, now they have to do something. And I'm like, crickets. Like, I've got to put in that conflict, but then I got to make them do something. I'm like, I can get them witty, I can get them talking, but I need something to push things along. That is actually where I spend most of my time with my basic outline is figuring out the basic plot. Like that's why that basic outline, which is if I put it in a Word document, it's maybe 2 pages. That actually
Yeah.
takes the most time because that's where I'm figuring
Ah,
everything out.
that makes me feel so much better. And you and I are very much alike in that. Characters, witty repartee, all of those I love dealing with those, but plotting is where I really fall down. What do you do when you get stuck in the plot? Do you have anything that helps?
Um, it depends on where I'm stuck in the plot. It's usually coming up with bad ideas to get to the good
Yeah.
ones. Like in the one that I just finished, I just got back from my editor too, because apparently she doesn't sleep. But um initially the first outline had the rising action, like the three main plot points. It gets worse and worse and worse for her, were reiterations of the same thing. And I'm like,
Mm,
this is not going to work. I'm like,
mhm.
okay. And I just left it there. And then when I was doing the advanced outline, I got more into my other characters, and that helped create something that I did not see coming that is so much better.
You said
But
something really
it's,
interesting with that, though. You had to trust your process enough to be able to move forward. Like you
Mhm.
didn't stick in the basic outline until you had finally fixed it. You just moved forward to the next step. You moved forward into the advanced
Yeah,
outline, and that's where you found it.
I did spend a lot of time in that basic outline and got as good as it was going to get at that point. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll leave it. I'll go ahead and do the advanced outline for like the first couple sections and then come back to this. And by the time I got there, I was on a roll. I'm like, no, I know what's going to happen. So I was able just to kind of skip going back
And
and just
that whole
flesh it out.
outlining process, is that all in Milanote? And then you move it into Scrivener when you're
Mhm.
writing? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. Okay. So, what is the kindest thing that anyone's ever done for you in your writing career?
Um, So a couple years ago, I was having like a little bit of a nervous breakdown with everything, just so overwhelmed, feeling like I wasn't getting anywhere. And there was this course, this publishing mastermind course that talks a little bit about writing. It goes over some basics, but it's really about how to push your career forward as an indie author, how to do all the stuff that when we spend all our time on craft, we're like, okay, well, how do I sell this? I
Hmm.
don't know what to do now. How do I do ads, whatever. Um, and it was an expensive course at the time, at least for what I make. And my husband just like, let's just get it. We'll put it on a credit card. We know we just paid him off, but no, if this is going to help you, this is what we're going to do. And he has been so supportive, which I don't know how to handle because I've never been able to rely on other people before.
Hmm.
Like if I wanted something, I had to figure out how to get it myself. And here's my husband like, oh no, we can do that. He just ordered a new keyboard for me for my birthday. And I'm just like, it's so pretty. It lights up.
I don't think anybody has ever answered this question that way, that their partner is the one who has been the kindest to them about their career. And I
Yeah.
absolutely love that. Hey, I need to ask you, last week or 2 weeks ago, while while we were in Rachel Says Right, he was behind you on the couch reading your book. How did that go?
Mhm. He loved it. He
Really?
is so
Because he's
supportive.
not a big reader, right?
He's not school kind of beat that out of him because he has a master's
It does
degree and
that.
he used to
Yeah.
love reading, but he's like, now I get my story through video games. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
can respect that.
Good
I got you.
storytelling in there too.
Yeah. Um, actually Witcher. Yeah, it's a really good
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
But yeah, he reads it in sections, which I'm kind of boggles my mind because like he goes through it and I'm like, most people I know burn through this in like 3 days. Why is it taking you 3 weeks? Come on. Of course, but no, he really likes it. He listens to me as I try to work things out and plot and everything. So he knows what's going to happen, but he's so supportive and he really likes the books.
That makes me so happy. Okay, what's the kindest thing you've ever done for yourself as a writer?
Um, I'm in the middle of tricking out my writing area, making it somewhere I actually want to be and sit. Like we're talking lights, whiteboards with stuff all over them, random washi tape.
Is
Yeah,
that where you're sitting now, or is this a different
mhm,
placement? So you
it's where I'm
used to
now.
sit in the, are you still in the lounge or
Yeah, I'm still in
somewhere
my living
else?
room.
Okay. So what else? Tell me more. I like details. Washi tape. Where's the washi
Um,
tape? Is it on the whiteboard? Oh, you have a whole, she's
it's
showing off a whole
everywhere.
like rolls and rolls and
Yeah.
rolls.
The nice thing I do myself is I go hit up Daiso and get
Yes.
things just to make my area have a lot more personality and make it a place I actually want to be.
We do have a Daiso in Wellington, and I try not to
Love
go
it.
there very often because it could be a problem.
I didn't know I could spend like $70 at a store that everything is 5, 3, or $1. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't even know how I managed to do that, but
Anyone who is listening who is in near a major metropolis will probably be able to find a Daiso. If one has never been there, it is worth looking for.
yeah. If you're in the States and you don't have a Daiso because I don't think they're everywhere yet, hit up a Big Lots. They have a craft area. Go to your TJ
Mm,
Maxx, wherever. Like find things that make you happy.
good idea. Yes, yes, yes. Find things that make you happy. I can't wait to do that in my new house. Okay. So what is the best book that you have read recently, and why did you love it?
Um, I have been sucked in hardcore to the Zodiac Academy world. I haven't read
Who's
the
that by
latest one
again?
yet. Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti.
Okay, I haven't read
Everyone
them.
calls them the Twisted Sisters. They are amazing. If you want to go more fantasy, I recommend starting with Dark Fae that leads into Zodiac Academy. You don't have to, but I love the high intensity of the action. The snark is on point. There are
You
some
love some snark.
points I do. And there are some points that are just absolutely hilarious. I have to put my Kindle down because I'm laughing so hard. And they've got this, it's definitely has a huge romance plot. Dark Fae is a reverse harem. Zodiac Academy
Mhm.
sadly is not, but we like it anyway. Um, like the smut is on point. It's a great spice, but that's not the point of the book.
Mm,
It's not about these girls just finding their true love and that's it. It's
mhm.
about their journey, their adventure. There just happens to be a really good spicy subplot in it.
I love the way you light up too when you talk about it.
Yes, I
You
love
love
those
these.
books. I
I
really
could
do.
tell. Okay, I'm gonna have to pick one up. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Now let's talk about your book and books. Tell us about the one that's out now, the ones that are coming, please.
So the one that's out now is an enemies to lovers novella. It's about the princess of hell and her guard. Carolina is very strong-willed. She hates that her life as a princess pretty much means that she's supposed to get married, have a kid, and that's it. That is her destiny. And she's like, no, hard pass. Um, and then she's kind of faced with the realities of what's happening in hell. Because in these worlds, hell isn't like fire and brimstone. It's just another fantasy world. Actually, hell, heaven, and fairy are in the same world. They're like
Mhm.
different continents. And the differences between them are mostly cultural. Um, so yeah, demons, angels, same thing, different color wings, whatever. But she's kind of faced with the realities of what hell is really like for people when she runs away. Ends up getting robbed by a bunch of kids and dumped in a freezing river until her guard comes and saves her. And she decides, okay, she'll go back, do what she needs to do, but she's going to take the one night for herself with her guard. It's awesome. Then she gets kidnapped by dragons. So, like, she's learning kind of what her life is supposed to be or what was set for her and what it actually can be when she needs to sacrifice herself for her people and when she says, no, this is what I need, which I love. And then Kiss of a Hellish Prince is the first book coming out January 16th of the
Ah.
Shadowed Fate series. That is about Tori, a girl who finds out running in the park is very dangerous and cardio should be avoided at all costs. So
That's a great line. And I agree.
um she kind of gets pulled into the world of angels and demons that are in the human realm. Finds out she is half demon herself, and then has to figure out why she's suddenly being attacked, has to protect her little sister and her best friend who's like a sister, because I'm a
Mm.
huge fan of found families.
Mhm.
And yeah, falling in love with the Prince of Hell, who is Carolina's son.
Well,
Yeah.
you're such a good writer, May. I
Thank you.
really loved reading that. You know, I don't say things like that lightly. I loved reading the prequel and I can't wait to read the next one.
Yes,
So where
it's
can
so
we find
pretty.
you and it and everything that you're up to?
Um, Easiest places to find me, Instagram, it's a.m_Mason, TikTok, am_Mason author, and then Facebook, of course, is am Mason writes, all one word.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being around and for being on the show. You are always, always, always a delight. And
Aw.
is I was talking to Tiffany Yates Martin recently, and we were saying about how nice it is when you finally get around to reading a friend's book, because sometimes we don't get around to reading all our friends'
I
books. We
don't.
just don't, we just don't have time. And then you find out they're really good at it, and it's just so nice. So thank you for
Oh, I
that.
really appreciate that.
Mm.
I'm putting these books out is terrifying.
Yeah.
I I will probably have a breakdown on the 15th before it actually goes live, even though I've already got the second one ready to go. The series will be 6 books and they are all coming out in 2023. All of them.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Best of luck. May they
Yes.
all fly from the shelves. I can't wait to see you soar.
Aw, thank you.